Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm here to show you a tutorial. So I was at TJ Maxx and saw this really cool idea for a pen holder on a journal, and so I came up with sort of a homemade version of it. And I just wanted to show you how I did it. And there's a few variations even right here. So this one is made out of paper with colored elastic. This one is made out of Craftex, and this is ribbon. And this one is faux leather that I just got at a hobby store, and some colored elastic on that as well. So also, if you're interested, shameless plug, this journal is for sale in our Etsy in our Etsy shop. So yeah, we are going on vacation for a few days, so our shop will be on hold for a few days, but today's July 10th, 2023, and this journal is for sale as of this minute. So shameless plug. I am so sorry about that, but so anyway, let's get started. So I'll just leave these here for a minute and let me just explain. So as you can see, there are a variety of materials you can use. Today I'll be showing you how to do the paper, but the other materials are very, very similar in the way you make them. So something that will be a little bit different is if you use ribbon. That's going to be different as far as the stretchiness of it goes. So that will be a little bit different technique on that. So so you could use, let me just say, you could use like the faux leather, Craftex paper. They all work great. I would say, of course, that that the faux leather and the Craftex are going to last much, much longer. The paper may last you, I don't know. There's no way I can estimate that, but it is going to obviously have more wear and tear, but it is sturdy. It's very sturdy with 3 layers of heavy cardstock. So it is sturdy and sort of a, you know, non-permanent, but these definitely could be used for quite a while. So materials, you could use file folder, Craftex, the faux leather. I'm experimenting with fabric. I have made this one out of fabric, and I have to tweak it just a little bit, otherwise this works perfectly well too. And then and heavy paper. So as far as paper goes, I would recommend a good quality cardstock like Tim Holtz or maybe Stamperia. And you guys probably know of some good brands too that are heavy, clearly heavier than other brands. So that's what I would recommend. Any of the above. I really think all these materials are going to be fine, but you know, some a little bit more durable than others. Okay, so the other thing would be material, elastic, I mean. So I just used what I had in the house. So I had this for making masks and everything. I have quite a bit of black, white, and red of this 1/8 inch elastic, and that's what I used, and it works perfectly fine. I think probably a little bit wider elastic would even be better. It might have kind of a nicer look. I don't know. And I'm sure you can get colored elastic too. I haven't checked any links or online, but I believe I've seen wider elastic, like maybe up to a 1/2 inch elastic that is colored, and I think that would be super great. Another type of elastic which I found, which I love, I absolutely love, is this spandex elastic. So it has a smoother look. It would be like sort of like obviously a swimsuit material. So it doesn't have those ridges of where the elastic threads run through. So it's got a smoother look, and this, I think I found this in black and brown. There were a couple different colors, but I found it black and brown for sure. And it was at a hobby store, and it was near the like jewelry making, you know, more like the chunkier jewelry making section. And they had this type of cord. I think they do call it cord, yes. elastic cord, and it's pretty inexpensive. So that's another great option. I didn't use that this time. Let's see. So that's a little bit about the elastic. You could also use, I think this stuff is really cool too. So I call it headband elastic. I don't really know what it is. Let's see if it's got it. It just says decorative trim. So, and I'm sure they have ones that aren't glittery like this, but this would be fun for a Christmas journal, wouldn't it? And I love the width of this. So this is actually a 1/2 inch. Yep, I think up to a 1/2 inch would be really cute on here. But this type of elastic would work great. It is awesome, but this is the only color I had, so I did not use that. So those types of 3 things. Now the ribbon, if you use ribbon, you'll need elastic on the underneath side. So that's the only difference with the ribbon. And I just had to use this B ribbon, and it was a pretty good length. I didn't have to do anything, but I did have to put quite a bit of elastic. But you could make the ribbon even longer and just put a little bit of elastic, as long as you have a little bit of stretch so that it can fit over, you know, a couple different book sizes. Okay, I think that's it. Very, very easy, very fun. Oh, I also want to mention too that these pens are small pens. Oops. So these pens are the small ones. They are about 4.5 inches long. If you use a regular pen, let me find one here. See, it's a, whoops, let me get this out of the way for a second. It's going to be 1.5 inches longer or so. And so you may want to make your pen holder longer. I like the look of the smaller one, that's why I made small, but you could just make it longer. But one thing, if you do that and make it a little different, I do recommend having the pocket, you know, quite a bit shorter than the backing. It's just much easier to get the pen in and out. So that would be the only recommendation of that. But you can definitely make this any size you need to. Absolutely. So these are just the smaller pens, which I love. Okay. Enough flapping. All right. Try to set that down so it doesn't fall over. Okay, very simple. So for the cardstock, and I'll probably interject. So this is the faux leather. It just, you can get it in sheets, or it comes on rolls, and that's what I used. It has like a felt backing. And Craftex. Maybe you don't know what Craftex is. It comes on sheets or rolls, and this one I just happened to buy a roll because this color is so versatile. And it's a leather-like paper, so it is. It's like a hybrid of paper and leather, kind of. So it's just very, very durable. You cannot rip it. It won't rip at all. And it's very thick and sturdy. So, side note, so I made this faux leather cover out of Craftex. And it's just, it feels like leather, looks like leather, and it's just an awesome material. I have it in my craft room at all times because I use it for different things. But anyway, so let's do this. You will need 8 inches by 1 3/4 inches strips, 3 of them. So 8 inches tall, 1 3/4 inches wide, out of a sturdy cardstock. If you make it out of vinyl, faux leather, you're only going to need 1 strip of paper for your backing. But, you know, cut this the same size, the 8 inches by 1 3/4, and then you'll just need a paper backing on that. And Craftex, same thing, just 1 paper backing, and then the 8 inch by 1 3/4 inch. Okay. File folder, I would say, let's see, I would say you would need three strips, or 2 strips of the file folder and 1 strip of decorative paper. That's probably a better way to do that because file folder is quite a bit heavier. Okay, so then all we're going to do is score this. Score 1. You only need to score 1. So determine what you want. Determine what you want to be the top, I guess. I want this to be my top, so from the bottom up, I'm going to score it 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, give that a good score. And I would consider this to be the front of your pen holder. I'm gonna sorry for that. So I would consider this to be this piece here. Okay? The one you score. All right, you can give it a little fold. I guess you don't really have to. Okay, so the next piece, what this really is, it's making this thicker and more sturdy. That's all it is. But this will be the part that bends up to make the pocket. So if you want your pocket like that, if it's directional, if you have letters that go up and down, make sure to be aware of that. Let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want the purple again. I think I will do the words. So I'll have to glue this on, like, let's see, is this gonna work for me? No, it's not gonna work for me. Let's see. No, it's not gonna work. That's okay. That's okay. I'll have this as my pocket. The directional is just a little trickier to figure out. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is glue them together. You don't have to score this one. In fact, it's probably preferable not to score this one, even though I folded it a little. All right, so then you're going to glue those back to back. Okay, use a strong glue. I'm using Fabri-Tac. And let's see, smooth them out a little bit. Then while the glue is still wet, you're going to fold on your score mark like that. Okay, burnish it down. Do this to kind of spread the glue around. Okay, then what you're going to do, if you can see, so there's where I folded it, there are 2 layers of paper, and the outside one has to go farther around, right? So this is going to be uneven, which is great. So I can't find my scissors. So we're just going to trim that off. So we're not going to worry about. Sometimes you have to think about that when you glue paper together. But this is going to be permanently folded up, so now it's perfectly sized to each other. All right, so then what I would do is round the corners. And some of these materials, obviously you're going to need sort of a sturdy corner rounder, but you may have to just cut it yourself, and that's great too. But this is 4 layers of paper now, so we're going to need a sturdy one. For the vinyl faux leather, I did do it myself. I actually didn't do a very good job, so careful when you do that. So much easier to use this, isn't it? Okay, so we're on our way. Now, if you had craft text or a file folder, you would decorate it before you do this. Not necessarily have to, though. You could decorate it afterwards. But for the craft text, I used stamps and inks and that kind of thing. All right, so far so good. Okay, the next thing, grab some elastic. All right, so there are a couple ways you could do this. You can have the ends of the elastic coming on the top and bottom of your back, like this. Or you can run the elastic all the way down and then just tie it, which makes it super flexible and adjustable, right? But you will have a knot, so never mind my book cover. This was a failed attempt at the inside part of it, but I plan on using the outside, obviously. So that's what it would look like from the front, but you would have a little knot. So if you don't like that knot, another way to do it, which is mostly the way I've been doing it, is just to glue. So take your book cover, whatever book cover you have, measure it, and then make it a little bit shorter. I would say an inch or inch and a half shorter. That way it gives your elastic some stretchability and it'll sit snugly on the book cover. Once again, use your strong glue, and this is going to be sewn as well. So let me just give you an idea how long this one is. This is 15 inches of elastic. So just to help you measure, because you're going to have to put about an inch of it on the paper, right? On each side. But I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm working with. Okay, make sure your elastic is it's not twisted. Make sure it's not twisted. And then go ahead and glue it on in the center on each side of the back. So this is the back. This was our front. And this is our back. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to take this, we're going to use this as our back, and I might go ahead and use the pink here. And then put lots of glue, lots of your strong glue. Make sure it covers the elastic ends, because we want to make sure that 100% is glued down. If you have a big, thick, chunky pen, you might need to make it a little wider too, but I've found for every single pen I tried in here that a 1 3/4 inches was pretty good. Okay, so there's that. And then you're going to take, I probably should have cut this off, but what I've been doing is not measuring this at all and just sticking it on and then cutting it. So I'm just going to do the same method for you here. But probably the 5 inches is going to be perfect, but I just didn't bother with that. I just went ahead and trimmed it after it was already glued on. So I'm going to do that again and find my little scissors for that. So the only problem with this, of course, is you can't cut the elastic or the other piece of paper. But that should be 3 inches, because that's how much we cut off, right? Or that's where we scored to make the pocket. So okay, and then you're going to need to trim your corners again. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, and then just really, you could put some heavy things on this, let it sit for a while, really squeeze it together and make sure that it's nice and flat, and the glue is all even layer. All right, so we're just gonna kind of burnish that down. Okay, and then we're gonna let this dry, and then top stitch the pocket top first. You could ink too. You could ink at this point if you like the look of ink. That would be great. So we'll just ink that up, all the sides. The most important would be this, because you can't really do that after it's sewn down. But we'll just go ahead and ink this whole thing. Okay, and then I will let this dry for a few and sew the pocket top first, and then sew all the way around the outside edge. I usually start like right here, and make sure you avoid your elastic. Don't sew that underneath or anything like that. Just keep that loose and free, and just stitch all the way around. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so now here it is. So it's all stitched, and also you wouldn't necessarily have to stitch. I do think it is going to hold it better, but if you have a nice strong glue, you should be able to make it as is. But I really would recommend stitching. I can see, you know, glue ripping paper, or the pressure, I mean, ripping the paper, possibly, or just actually, you know, coming apart. I've had that happen. So not on this project, but I have had that happen with other things. So I do recommend stitching if you possibly can. But this is the finished product of that one. And you could add a little snippet here, you know, add a row of lace. So the backing, I was going to mention too that I've been using the paper, and I used paper on all of these, even the Craft Tex one, to hide, you know, to hide the elastic ends or the ribbon ends. So I have used paper on those. However, you could use felt. For example, this would be great, I think, with felt, because the faux leather is pretty sturdy in itself, but I like the extra stiffness the paper gives, but I think you could possibly use felt on that. The other thing I could suggest is on any of these would be to put the paper down, and then you could add a layer of fabric and have it fringing out the back. I think that would be really cute too. Anyway, so many things you could do, right? So let me just clip this on a book so you can see how that looks on there. And there we have it. A variety of different ways you can make the clips, or a pen holder, I guess you could call it, on books. I totally love it. Super fun and easy to make. After you make one, it'll just be a breeze, and you can mass make them be great and have them ready for journals. All right, guys. Nice gift too. Nice gift. Nice Christmas stocking stuffer. All that stuff. Super happy to have you join me today. Appreciate it so much. I know you could be doing any number of things right now and you're watching me, so I appreciate that very much. Please like and leave a comment. That would be wonderful. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We are having a giveaway coming up very, very soon, because we're getting close to 6,000 subbies. So we are super thrilled about that. And please join us on Facebook, Instagram, and we would just love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.